What's up, everybody? It's time for episode number 2 of The Reality of Insanity. There was no episode last week because I wasn't feeling all that well and I didn't have time to do it, but we're back in action this week. And actually, to make sure that we're back in action this week, I'm filming this the day after you saw the comic culture episode with Skinslip, just so I can make sure that I get this episode in the can. So I'm going to have this one pre-scheduled to go up mid-afternoon on Saturday. So you guys make sure, guys from the Geeky crew that is, make sure you let me know if this is better or if early in the morning is better for all of you to see these episodes. But yes, episode number 2 of The Reality of Insanity. And this week, rather than react directly to one of your videos or something you said in last week's Saturday Night Insanity, I'm simply going to pose questions for discussion for you. So that's today on the Razman's Reality. Alright, guys, and possibly gals, if the two that frequent Saturday Night Insanity sometimes show up. First up, San Diego Comic-Con is happening this week, or yes, it is this week. I had to make sure that I was right about that, but San Diego Comic-Con is happening this week. So, San Diego Comic-Con still relevant or too commercial is my first question. And by the way, I will give my own answers to all these questions in the debut episode of the podcast that I'm doing with Brandon for Geeky TV, which will be sometime next week. Stay tuned to my channel for updates on that. So, San Diego Comic-Con relevant or too commercial is my first question. Second question comes right off what Brandon and I just talked about, because I want to get all of you the chance to discuss about this together. I know we've all discussed about it separately, but a big group chat on Saturday Night Insanity this week I think would be really entertaining for everybody. Streaming media and the way that media is going now, good or bad for us collectors, and will there always be a market for physical media, or will it be phased out entirely, is question number 2. And finally, question number 3 is mostly for Sean, because I know that he's the one that's caught up on the entire world of Doctor Who, but if any of the rest of you are, please feel free to chime in. And if you aren't, do yourself a favor when Sean is answering this question, mute your Google Plus, cameras and microphones, so that you're not spoiled on these answers when you want to catch up on the show. But at the time of this recording, as I said, it's being recorded on what I believe is a Thursday when we did this, or possibly Friday. When did we do that on Tuesday? We did that on Monday or Tuesday. So this is either a Tuesday or a Thursday. I can't remember what day that episode went up. Brandon will have a better memory than I will, but it will be the previous video to this video most likely, because whenever I do big videos like that, I like to leave them up a bit longer for view purposes, because some of us don't have 15,000 YouTube subscribers. Congratulations to you, Sean. But anyway, my question is based entirely on a rumor at this point, which may or may not be confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con. One of the few things about it that may or may not be still good and relevant, depending on how you guys answer that question. But if said rumor gets confirmed at San Diego Comic-Con, I want to get your opinions on it. So, there's a long-standing rumor that one Maisie Williams, better known to the world as Arya Stark, is going to be a guest star on Series 9 of Doctor Who, or Series 9 of New Who, however you want to say it. If you want to be a purist, it would be Series 9 of New Who. So my question is, do you think she will be playing an entirely new character that we've never seen before, so that the door is more open to bring her back if she ever wants to make future appearances? Or do you think she's going to play someone that is entirely from the Doctor's past and not just someone that the Doctor knew before that we haven't seen? Mainly, who I'm thinking about is Susan. Now, as you know, one of my #1 goals is to get caught up on the entire world of Classic Who. That's probably my #1 goal this year, now that I have that Holy Grail behind me, which was everyone's Holy Grail for last year. Batman, the complete 60s series. My goal this year is to spend nearly the entire Christmas budget, if possible, on everything Classic Who, so I can properly get involved in that world. So I may or may not be wrong, right, and maybe wrong is what I was trying to say about this statement. But if I remember correctly, this particular character did not die, and the Doctor just left her behind, and she has never been seen again. So I would love to see, and like I say, I will expand on this more, especially if Sean proves my theory right as a possibility in the show that I do with Skinslip. But I would love to see Maisie Williams, if she is indeed appearing on Doctor Who. If she's not, well then this is irrelevant, and maybe this character could be played by someone else. But I would love to see her be Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter. So that is my theory. That is who I think she could be. If I'm right about the possibility of she can come back to this show in New Who format, because I always thought the idea of Doctor having a granddaughter and the idea of another true Gallifreyan besides the Doctor and the Master was always something I really, really wanted to see, and I think she would be brilliant. Just knowing the kind of actor she is, she would nail the role of a Gallifreyan, a young Gallifreyan Time Lord. So, Susan, yay or nay, or a new character, yay or nay, or do you have your own theory about another possible returning character that she could be playing if she is indeed going to be appearing? If she is appearing, then everyone's saying that we will know one way or another coming out of Comic-Con. The sources are saying that's one rumor that will be either confirmed or squashed about Series 9. So by now we will have seen the trailer, and by now we'll know if this last question is relevant or not. So, as always, if you like what you saw here today in your new year, please subscribe, because I would love to see you again. Don't forget to like and share as well. Sorry, I had a brain fart there, because those always help with views. As you saw in the beginning, I've relaunched, for a better way of putting it, the Patreon campaign. As my fellow geeky members always say, no amount is too big, no amount is too small. It all goes right back here into the show. So please do consider becoming a Patreon supporter. If you can't do it, don't worry, the show will always remain free. Patreon is just a way for you to give back to the show and support it if you have the means to do so. And as always, this is reality according to the Razman, and Razman style is not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.